Well, you probably saw my last video about the HR, what was it, HR 5404, the gold-backed currency bill and all that. And I mentioned, look, I just don't think this big crash is coming. My mom says, yeah, there's going to be a noticeable dip, but not a crash. And she doesn't see it happening by the end of this year at all, which, I mean, we're there and doesn't see it for 2019, all that stuff. So Zero Hedge article. I'm, doing my little thing. Let me see what newsworthy anything would talk about. Oh, here's one. And this kind of goes in line with what I'm thinking. And the title, though, is Trump urges Americans to buy the dip. Voices confidence with Steve Mnuchin and Powell. Fed head Powell. Stocks may have finally found the catalyst they need, if only for a brief relief rally. Almost 10 years after President Obama marked the bottom of the financial crisis, when on the day the S&P hit, coincidentally, 666, the president gave the green light to buy stocks on March 6, 2009, saying rather bizarrely that what you're now seeing is profit and earning ratios are starting to get to the point where buying stocks is a potentially good deal if you've got long-term perspective on it. President Trump also urged Americans to buy the dip when on Tuesday he suggested that the recent swoon in the stock market is a buying opportunity for investors. We have companies, the greatest in the world, and they're doing really well. Hold on. Let me try that again. Let me get my little Trump doll. We have companies, the greatest in the world, and they're doing really well. Trump told reporters at the White House on Christmas Day. They have record kinds of numbers, so I think it's a tremendous opportunity to buy. Really a great opportunity to buy. I'm just going to ask you this, and you may not agree, but I'm asking. I'm not telling you. I'm just asking you. Did Donald Trump just forecast, guys, we got this. Don't sweat it. Don't listen to the mainstream garbage. It's not going to be the end of the world. There's not going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be okay. So I think it's a tremendous opportunity to buy, really a great opportunity to buy. Listen to me, when Donald Trump, as president especially, opens his mouth and makes a claim or makes something, oh, come on, his wires were tapped. How ridiculous, the president's saying his wires were tapped. Oh, his wires were tapped. He said that made threats against him in the FBI, the text messages. How ridiculous. Oh, I guess they did. Right? Do I need to go on? He's saying that on Christmas Day, the same day I'm doing this video. He said a little earlier. Trump's invocation to buy the effing dip, BTFD, came one day after the most violent Christmas Eve sell-off on record, and the day when the S&P fell not only to its lowest level in 20 months, but also slumped into a bear market. For Trump, the stock market has served as a barometer on his administration, and while he was pointing out virtually every major uptick for the past 2 years, the recent plunge has infuriated him, leaving him mute on any market-related topic. But a more important catalyst for a potential Wednesday rally came when Trump appeared to back off his demands that the Fed stop hiking, which culminated with Trump reportedly seeking to fire Fed Chair Powell and speculation that if the market does not stop falling, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin may also be on the chopping block. Alongside urging Americans to BTFD by the, effing dip, Trump expressed confidence in the Treasury Secretary and the Federal Reserve in an attempt to calm financial markets, further roiled after a recent Bloomberg report that the president had discussed firing the central bank's chairman over raising interest rates. Asked about Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, Trump said the central bank is, quote, raising interest rates too fast, but he has confidence, he has confidence that the Fed will get it pretty soon. Oh, are you throwing them under the bus, Mr. President? You going on the go back currency or what? They're going to get it. Trump was also asked if he has confidence in Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, who sparked a market panic on Monday with his late Sunday statement in which he said he had called the CEOs of the top 6 banks to make sure bank liquidity levels are fine, prompting a frenzy of questions questions what he knows that the rest of the market does not know, and followed it up with a call with the plunge protection team on Monday, which, however, failed to prevent one of the worst one-day routes in history. Trump's response: yes, I do. Very talented guy, very smart person. Again, I'm telling you, do not F with the Trump. Remember the movie Child's Play, Chucky? Don't F with the Chuck. Remember that? His little saying? Or was it don't F? Was it don't F with the Chuck? Don't something the Chuck. Maybe I got it wrong. Anyways, don't F with Trump. When he opens his mouth and tells you something, pay attention. I know, again, I've seen the numbers, inverted yield curves and all that stuff. I know. We are in a different time now. And we've got a guy in charge who, according to my mom, these things will not happen as long as that man is in power. If he's not in power, then you might be concerned. So everyone's like Greg was telling me, some of his friends, I'm down 30%, I'm down 25%. There were 401ks and stuff. I mean, maybe Trump's right. Now's a good time to buy. Now, you know me. I'm not touching any damn stocks. Nope, not touching them. I believe in crypto. Manipulator, not right now. I believe in crypto. Buy, sell, up, down. Again, in a few years from now, is any of it going to matter? Just like if a few years ago you were in crypto, would the prices today even matter? Oh, what do you mean a few years, like 2013? Yeah, that's fine. Pick a ton. 13, 12, 11 cent Litecoin. Are you bothered that it's in the $30 range right now? Are you bothered? You're in at 10 cents, 12 cents? Yeah. Okay, so let's just say 10 cents times 100, right? Would be $10. Would you like a 10x on your return at 10 bucks? Oh, we're at 30 bucks. That's 300 times your return. Yeah, okay. Of course, now if you're in a Litecoin at $200 because you got in while it was going up or came down but was still at the high, you're going to have to wait. But $30 Litecoin, and I'm telling you, again, I could still get this wrong from this info. I could still get this wrong. But my magic 8-ball don't seem to think so. And neither do I. I think you're going to see this route in cryptos continue. Again, I'm doing this video at 5:33 p.m. Christmas Day, 12/25, 2018. And typically I release my videos in the morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. So as soon as I'm done yapping, I just go upload, title, yes, monetize, whatever, okay, and then set it at 6:30. And I'm saying that because I still think there's going to be, look, crypto market up, down, it's going to do its thing, of course. But I think we got some more downward pressure noticeable before we get out of this year, which means we only got a few days of that. Even if that doesn't happen, I also think part 2 is coming of the sell-off, and it will be in January. And I do have a time frame on my Patreon, but it's a good time to buy when markets are down, right? So I'm not telling you go right now, because again, I'm out of Litecoin right now. I'm out. Still waiting patiently. My orders are just sitting there waiting to fill. Just sitting there waiting to fill. And I hope they fill, because I'm going to get back a nice chunk of Litecoin back, and then some. And so are quite a few of the people who followed me over there doing that same move. But anyways, I'm not going to turn this into a crypto video. I'm just telling you, Trump thinks it's a good time to buy. And if the market rallies, everyone, the stock market, everyone's panicking. They're going into crypto. Oh, wait a minute, stock market's rallying again. All the crypto people, let's go back to the stock market. Just going to throw that out there. Not saying that that's how it's going to go down, because honestly, the information that I have, the data that I have, I don't think really that stuff even matters, to be honest with you. So let's continue on here. The remarks represented Trump's first expression of public support for Mnuchin and Powell since Bloomberg reported last week that the president has discussed dismissing Powell, who was recommended by Mnuchin. Overnight, Bloomberg also reported that the president also weighed dismissing Mnuchin, while another said Mnuchin's tenure may be dependent in part on how much markets continue to drop. Trump's Oval Office remarks on Tuesday contrasted with an angry tweet on Monday saying the only problem our economy has is the Fed. Hint, uh, he's effing right. It always has been. And as long as it's around pulling the strings, it always will be. But I'm telling you, gold backed currency, bye bye Fed. It'll happen at some point. Um, the only problem our economy has is the Fed. They don't have a feel for the market. They don't understand necessary trade wars or strong dollars or even Democrat shutdowns over borders. Previously, Trump had unleashed a litany of complaints about the Fed's rate hiking pace, as summarized in the chart below, which I'm not even thinking to show you, raising concerns that the Fed may lose its independence if Powell is seen as folding to Trump's demands or if Trump replaces the Fed chair as a result of the recent market drop. Trump's latest remarks on the Fed may be seen as bullish by the markets as they alleviate somewhat concerns that Trump would try to remove Powell, even if the president didn't explicitly say that he won't fire the central bank chief. Mnuchin said in a pair of tweets Saturday evening that he'd spoken with the president about the matter, and he quoted Trump, saying he didn't believe he had the authority to remove the Fed chairman. Well, we'll see, Trump said Tuesday when asked about his confidence in Powell. They're raising rates too fast, that's my opinion, but I certainly have confidence, but I think it will straighten. They're raising interest rates too fast because they think the economy is too good, but I think that they will get it pretty soon. I really do. I mean, the fact is that the economy is doing so well that they raised interest rates, and that's a form of safety in a way. Trump's safety comment is a reference to the Fed's ability to lower rates from higher if and when the economy starts contracting, giving the economy a greater cushion in case of a downturn. This is also known as the hiking rates now and lower them later approach. Incidentally, according to the Fed funds market, as of Monday's route, the odds for a January 2020 cut are now higher than for an actual hike, indicating that the market is now pricing in an easing cycle and or a recession starting in just over 1 year. So the biggest takeaway for me on this, we have companies, the greatest in the world, and they're doing really well, Trump told reporters at the White House on Christmas Day. They have record kinds of numbers, so I think it's a tremendous opportunity to buy, really a great opportunity to buy. Could you imagine him saying that and then the market just puking and puking and puking and it just crashes? I mean, the elite would love nothing more. The Democrats would love nothing more. So maybe they're going to try that. But again, I just don't think this is going to go the way of 2008. I just don't think so. I think part of the reason 2008 went the way it did was so that these people could purposely get a bunch more money and these banks could get even richer. And again, now that Trump's in charge, what's the reason going to be? I'm not. I'll say it again though. I could certainly be wrong about this. The data supports that view of hey, this is not looking good. Market's going to keep going down. But we got a Trump bump in the house, okay? And he's going to bump. That's what happens to the market when it goes up. It's called a Trump bump. Oh, market's up 8,000 points today. Oh, Trump bump. Take care.